Welcome to the 2016 Survey of Faith-Based Investing Awareness and Use webinar. This webinar is intended to provide a review of the 2016 Survey of Faith-Based Investing Awareness and Use presented by the Christian Investment Forum. The 2016 survey follows from a similar survey completed in 2013 that asked the same questions of financial advisors. The goal for the more recent survey was to determine if there had been any significant changes in that awareness from the efforts of CIF and others to provide resources and training to communicate the benefits of faith-based investing. The short answer is a resounding yes. In this webinar, we'll go into some of the specifics. First, let me introduce the Christian Investment Forum. Why does CIF exist? It exists to enable the integration of faith into all parts of our lives, and through that, to transform our world and bring about change in the hearts, homes, cities, and world that we serve. What CIF seeks to change specifically is to integrate faith into our financial lives. We believe that faith-based investing is the best investing approach for Christians, a necessary part of putting God above ourselves and the possessions we steward for Him. And as it becomes widely adopted, it can have a fundamental impact on our faith, our culture, and on ourselves. We believe that business, that work, that capitalism can be in full alignment with God's plans and purpose. That thriving business can be a blessing to us, our families, and our friends. The Christian Investment Forum was created by those that believe this, with the purpose of building awareness of biblically responsible investing and encouraging others to follow the same path. How we intend to accomplish this is through our activities. Christian Investment Forum is a kingdom-focused investment association committed to educating advisors and investors to research and tools through education by creating a safe environment and communicating the why and what of CIF. In this way, we strive to be an organization that enables others to advance and promote kingdom impact investing that transforms our world. With that introduction, let's begin with some background on the topic of faith-based investing, which is also known by terms such as biblically responsible investing and kingdom impact investing. The definition CIF uses is biblically responsible investing applies Christian values to investment decision-making by incorporating moral and social principles into traditional financial analysis. BRI provides a platform for the faithful stewardship of God's gifts on the basis of our shared Christian faith. BRI seeks to invest in and own companies that best represent those Christian values. To learn more about how this definition is applied, you can visit www.christianinvest.org and search for a webinar called Principles of BRI located under Advisor Resources at the CIF website. BRI has a long historical background, but more recently, let's say in the last 40 years, the practice of integrating values into investing has taken on a non-religious perspective. This has helped increase the visibility and the credibility of what is often called socially responsible investing. But it has also led to some tensions between Christians across the political spectrum and with differing priorities. One of the goals for CIF is to bridge that divide and show that faith-based investing is and should be inclusive of differing priorities for all those that are believers in the Christian faith. The survey itself was conducted in the fall of 2016 with 171 respondents completing the survey. In this presentation, I'll review some of the key findings on awareness, knowledge, and use of BRI, and conclude with some recommendations. Additional details are available in the summary report that is available at the CIF website. The full report is also available upon request. So first, in regards to key findings, the awareness of the concepts and techniques of BRI has become nearly universal in this population. Second, advisors now feel knowledgeable about BRI in ways they were not 3 years ago. And this, along with the increase in funds and fund performance, has led to a much higher credibility for the idea of faith-based investing. Third, the progress in the last 3 years provides some useful roadmaps and strategies we can pursue to make similar progress with other broader markets. Respondents were first asked about their awareness of BRI, and were asked the same question 3 years ago. The responses showed an almost universal awareness of BRI, with 29% increase in familiarity compared to 2013. There was an almost doubling of those very familiar, up to 54%. And only 1% of the respondents said that they were not very familiar with BRI. The next question focused on their familiarity with different aspects of BRI and how critical each of those elements were to BRI, from positive screening of companies, or inclusionary screening, and exclusionary screening. Most advisors in 2013 and again in 2016 agreed that both positive and negative screening was critical. What was most interesting was a 300% increase in the responses, stating that impact investing was also a critical element. Impact investing has gotten significant media attention in the last year and should be closely followed to adequately engage with investors on what it means and how they can participate. Now, one of the larger gaps in perception and reality found in the survey 3 years ago was in the understanding of how many products and offerings were available to advisors and investors that use faith-based investing. In fact, there are well over 50 funds across 28 asset classes available that explicitly incorporate biblical principles into the investment decision-making process, most often screening out companies that violate the policies of that investment firm. There are more funds that are continuing to be added, as well as other options, such as separately managed accounts and portfolios developed by registered investment advisors that use these same BRI funds. In 2013, less than 5% of advisors were aware of the breadth of offerings. And while the gap remains quite large, with 40% of advisors still believing there are less than 10 funds, there has been a sizable trend towards greater awareness. Some of the continuing gap may be a result of advisors only indicating those funds available on their own platform, or only the funds that they believe follow their own personal views or convictions. In either case, we have made progress, and as more products and services become available, we hope the gap can continue to shrink. While there remains progress to be made in awareness of product offerings, overall knowledge of faith-based investing has increased, with 57% of respondents saying they were well educated or very well educated on BRI. Only 2% of the respondents felt that they were not at all educated. That compares to 2013, when almost 9% of advisors felt they were not at all educated, and another 20% not well educated. Overall, a 72% increase in those feeling well educated on BRI. In addition to a core knowledge of BRI, there was a growing recognition and belief that BRI was a credible approach to investing, with 83% of respondents saying as such. The change in these attitudes from 3 years ago, which equals a 30% increase, was a shifting of those that were neutral in 2013 to the question, and who now agreed with that credibility of BRI. The familiarity, knowledge, and credibility are steps toward the ultimate goal, which is increased use of BRI. In that regard, we saw a 48% increase in usage to 53% of the respondents in 2016 saying they used faith-based investing in their practice. And of those not currently using faith-based investing, the other 47%, 20% of them said they were very interested in starting, which was a 66% increase from 2013. Another 48% were somewhat interested, for a total of 68% stating their interest in incorporating faith-based investing. Going back to those that are using BRI, we saw an increase in those that were allocating higher percentages of their assets under management, or AUM, to faith-based investing. As you can see, a 21% increase in allocations of 60% or greater. We also saw continued trends towards increased allocations, with over 55% of respondents saying their allocations were increasing. So with that, we switched to the last section of the survey, which asked some specific questions about attitudes and perceptions on issues surrounding BRI. The table highlights a few of the questions, and I'll touch on just a couple of them. In this table, you'll see 63% of respondents said they believed BRI portfolios can perform comparably to non-screen portfolios, which was a 32% increase from 2013. 49%, or nearly half of respondents, agreed there was enough information or history of BRI investing for them to support its use. That is a 46% improvement from 2013 and is also reflected in the growth in use of faith-based investing. This improvement may be due to another 3 years of history and more information available. It may also be partly due to greater awareness and visibility of information that had already existed, but now became more aware. Looking at a couple other slides, and looking at another one, 94% of advisors who responded believe faith should play a role in investing decisions. However, on the previous slide, in one question, 26% of advisors stated their only role for clients was to maximize return. The difference in response to these two questions would not seem to align. If only 6% of advisors believe that faith should not play a role in investing decisions, how can 26% of those same advisors state their only role for clients is to maximize return? So it's critical that we can continue to communicate our belief that the role of the advisor is more than a 5 or 10-year benchmark. This entire set of questions is available in the full survey report, which can be found visiting the CIF website, story on the survey. And at that website, you can request a copy of the full report. In conclusion, we have seen substantial progress and improvements in the awareness, knowledge, and use of BRI in the last 3 years from the respondent pools. There continues to be more evidence of confirmed investor interest in faith-based investing. However, infrastructure barriers remain and are only slowly shifting to support this effort. In contrast to this slow trend is the interest growing rapidly in impact investing, or kingdom impact investing for Christians. The growth in interest and in taking steps for this has accelerated rapidly in the last year, and we are working closely with other organizations in this space to provide some information and guidance. For every type of faith-based investing, an important point to not lose sight of is the fact there is a significant market opportunity and an equal impact opportunity that we have not come close to fulfilling. So our recommendations are to largely stay the current course in communicating the opportunity and the many options that exist. We also are encouraging friendly competition among those in the space as more products are needed to meet the large opportunity. We're all in this together. The support of the Christian Investment Forum membership has been critical to our ability to develop research such as this and to provide the tools and information on our website to advisors and to investors. Each of them is profiled on the CIF website, and I welcome you to spend some time learning more about them and contacting them through our website, where their contact information is available. Thank you for your time.